This is an acoustic guitar. There's a cat inside. And this just proves cats are liquid. Or cats are guitar picks, because picks always fall in your sound hole and you can't take them out of there, no matter how hard you try. 37 picks inside. That is correct. What this? That? First I thought that was a guitar with 2 sound holes that you could drop twice as many picks in. This one, you put your leg through and it makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, it does kind of force you in the upright classical playing position. Why would you need that? You just tilt the guitar. I really am hoping this is a joke. It's not serious. There's no guitar like this. How about we Google it? There is no leg through guitar. This is just a picture. As you might have realized, today we're reacting to guitar and otherwise music related memes. And by the way, I'm Vadusha and I'm the greatest expert on guitar in the entire world, and maybe even on YouTube. Pro guitarist, this bending ain't hard. The bending? I think David Gilmour is famous for his stretchy bends, like 2.5 steps to 3 steps. That's really hard to do unless you have really thin string. And this one's nearly impossible to do. I'm pretty sure they loosened the strings just to get this shot. But it's hilarious. Super spreader. I think Stevie T reacted to this, actually buying the super spreader and trying to fit it on his hand, and the thing failed miserably.
Okay, there's that pain they were talking about.
This one makes no sense. You have to stretch on your guitar for sure. You have to have a long stretch to reach out to more frets. But this ain't the thing that's gonna help you. Only practice. My fingers did used to look like this. If you play a lot, your fingers will too. Today, no. Look at this. Focus on my fingers. My fingers are nice and dandy. No string marks. This just goes to prove I need to practice more. I totally love this Gibson thing. Fake musical products that make some sense, but more comedy than practical. So that's a capo, which you put on your fretboard. This way you higher up your guitar tuning, you're able to play open chords in higher positions. You don't have to bar this whole thing. You have all of your fingers available to play. But there's another thing, which is a nail clipper, which most of the guitarists use to clip their nails, because you gotta have no nails on your left hand. Not literally no nails. I mean, very, very short nails on your left hand, because if you press against the fretboard, your nails scratch into it unless they're cut well. So this is worth producing it. Yo, Gibson, go Kickstarter. We'll fund this. They got slash in there. You could use your whammy bar to do the whammy effect, or you could use your guitar as a lever to push the neck forward and push the body backward. This way you create some bending. Literally, the guitar starts twisting and it makes a wah 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 sound. That's a legitimate way to do it. And on a basic Gibson configuration, you don't have a whammy bar. So that's the only way you're kind of reproducing a whammy bar effect. I'm pretty sure there's a Bigsby guitar pedal that imitates the Bigsby thing. You pedal the tuning a little bit and it makes a whammy bar effect. So there's multiple ways to have your whammy bar effect. Sultans of Sling. This one's nasty. I mean, I'm not sure this model really exists. There's a Gibson model that looks kind of like this, but it's not hollow body. And with this Dean-shaped headstock, you can actually sling something. Well, that's legit. You could make this. Someone could like it. When your parents hate you for your DIY attitude, what's wrong with DIY? I'm not sure what they meant there. Please let me know in the comments if you do, because I understand you cut the body from the table. You built a tele. Nice. Why is hating someone for their DIY attitude a thing? No idea. Let me know in the comments. This one's an old meme. Strings 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 seem to stay in tune better than string 3. And probably this is all because you bend string number 3, the G string, way more often than you bend any other string. So that's why it detunes easier. And look at this headstock. It's heavily burnt. Is this an artistic choice, or did this guitar suffer fire? Okay, it took me a while to understand what's going on there. If you buy newer strings, they sound crisp. They're really resonant, a lot of high harmonics in the sound. The more you use them, the more grease gets between the coils and it starts to sound duller. The higher frequency harmonics go away, and that's why some people change the strings. Not me though. Sometimes people boil the strings to boil the fats away so that the strings are cleaner, and then they restring their guitar. We used to do this because we used to not have music stores back in the 1990s and early 2000s in where I'm from. So we used to be really careful with our strings. But this one, if you don't like the bright tone, you might want to have a duller tone. You could use your flat wounds or buy used strings. Certified pre-owned. Super stinky, I just noticed. If you ever bought a very heavily used guitar, or if you at somebody's home and you're taking the guitar, your hands smell after. It's been in garage jams and all over the place. It's dirty as hell and it smells Nice. Yeah, super stinky. That's a legit name for that. The walking V. They bend the edges and put the sneakers on. The actual name is the flying V because it's supposed to look like an airplane, like it's flying. This one's walking. These Chipson guys are doing a great job with these humor commercials. I will review them for sure. So they made hinges, not just bending the edges, but hinging them. Ha! That's clever. Oh, the price, 20k. I'd totally buy it. I just published another YouTube lesson. You researched this lesson first to make sure you're teaching it correctly, right? You did research the lesson to make sure you're teaching it correctly, right? One definition of a teacher is someone who's one lesson ahead of the student. It does work in some contexts, may not work in the guitar playing context. There's not a set of lessons, there's a lot of practice you gotta do, unlike when you're teaching some theory, like physics or geography. Before teaching, you need to make sure you've mastered the guitar a bit, at least a little bit. Name an album in any genre that you think is 100% perfect, where you don't even skip a track. I'm not sure if there's one. There's always these filler tracks that make no sense, that are just there to make the track count larger, for it to be an LP instead of an EP. If you know such albums, let me know in the comments. Because I don't. Cowboy chords, gotta love them. A minor pentatonic, I know this one. B minor pentatonic, pretty comfy. Open octaves, easy. Whittly whittly wee wee woo. The open chords are clear. That's the very beginning of the fretboard when you can use open strings as part of your chord voicing. Then the A minor pentatonic, 5th fret position. I think it's the first melody playing thing anyone learns. Then B minor pentatonic. Not sure why they differentiate these two because they're virtually the same. You just move your hand up 2 frets. This could be improved. Probably the first sweep arpeggio is in this range when you do the A minor, bam, 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 this thing. Okay, so the 12th fret is open octaves, and that's fun because you know that fret 0, fret 12, and fret 24, if you have one, is the same note but an octave up. That's where you can check if your guitar's in tune, if your guitar is properly intonated, if the scale length is alright, you can adjust it based on how it sounds on the 12th fret, as opposed to 12th fret natural harmonics. But the thing that bugs me here is these birds on the fretboard. What? I mean, it says Fender, but the birds, is it PRS signature thing? Why does Fender guitar have birds on the fretboard? Let me know in the comments if this is a Fender model I don't know. How to be a good guitar player. Distortion. You can never have enough. Sure, distortion helps. Expensive pedals, the more expensive, the better. For sure. Never learn scales. Scales are boring. Noodle. How'd you noodle if you don't learn scales? I mean, what you noodle around? There's a controversial point there. These two don't match because you have to learn scales. Can't noodle without knowing scales. Play Iron Man. I'm not sure I know how to play Iron Man. I can probably pick it up, but never learned it. Scroll Instagram. Well, most of these are 100% legit, except for noodling and never learning the scales. John Petrucci goes from an 80s metal player to a full grizzly bear, transitioning through a Hagrid stage, which is hilarious. I mean, no offense, John Petrucci is the greatest guitar player, probably. Holy moly, these AI things got way too good. Oh man, that's scarily good. And I would totally watch this band play. What's the name for this though? The Meowtalica? The Cannibal Cats? System of a Meow? Let me know your options in the comments. So Squier and Fender. Squier is cheap of Fender. That's common truth. But did you know that Squier started as string manufacturer and then they were acquired by Fender and started making budget level guitars? And Squier guitars are very much alright. Okay, so heavy metal band generator. Never tried one of these, seen many of these. Let's do it together. I'm Vadusha, so it's V, illegal. My first word is illegal. The first letter of my last name is U. Illegal hate. That sounds so metal. Illegal hate. Illegal hate. That's nice. I wonder what Jimi Hendrix is. It's Forsaken Death. Forsaken Death. Man, this one's good. Sometimes live shows be like, super tight band. Sometimes it is exactly this way. The whole band is backing the singer up, playing super tight, and the singer is sloppy and missing all the notes and running out of breath. But sometimes the guitar player is the sloppy one. Sometimes the drummer is the sloppy. Having a sloppy drummer is the worst thing you can have, because a super tight band is what you need. The rhythm section, the drums and the bass have to be super tight and locked in time, having that groove to keep the music going, to keep the people dancing. The rest of it is kind of The tone is in the fingers. Can't disagree with that. That's enough memeing for today. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video till the end and not skipping any part of it, because it makes the channel grow. It lets YouTube know the videos are worth promoting, and most importantly, it makes me happy. I really hope you had as much of a good time as I have, because you're awesome. Yes, you are.